Execute Order 66. I love because we're not doing Bad Batch anymore, which I am sad about.
You
But
love.
I can do any quote I want. That's not just a Wrecker. I've been tied to Wrecker for the last
This guy's been tied
year.
to Wrecker for
I've
a
had to
year and
go,
a half.
I got the package, didn't I?
16 weeks straight
do
or
it.
whatever it
I
was.
can finally, or on my vocal cords.
Go back to Palp.
Go back to Palp. Maybe get a
Good
little
old Palp.
Get a little Han Solo in there. Maybe get a little more of. You know what I love? Hello there.
Hello there.
It's a little simple. The
Anakin.
old Ben. The old Ben. Hello
Old
there.
Ben.
Hello there. Come here, my little friend. Don't be afraid.
That's great. Good segue. Speaking of hello there,
Hello
welcome
there.
back to the Star Wars Guys podcast.
Are we
as
recording?
always, are we recording? Yeah. As always, we are your hosts, Mike,
Hello there.
myself, Nate. Hello there. And Uncle is out. That's where we need to like cue a little.
He's frozen in carbonite
Yeah,
today.
he is. He is frozen in carbonite.
Yeah.
No, Uncle woke up not feeling too great today, so he couldn't make it to the cast. In our prayers, hopefully he starts feeling better. But couldn't make it, so you're stuck with us. You're stuck with us.
Lucky you.
Yeah. But we got some stuff to talk about.
We got some spicy stuff.
So, this kid's been talking spice all morning, this guy.
Well,
Listen.
mainly because I just want to rewatch Book of Boba Fett. And all
That's
the
true.
spice.
Was that whole show about spice?
It was all about spice. Well, that and Dune.
Yeah.
I'm really just into spice. I have a spice problem.
This guy's got a spice problem. Are your eyes blue?
Some spice.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We are diving into lots of things. May 4th came out with a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We had Bad Batch finale, which you saw our recording of that a few days before May 4th. But then May 4th hits. We get Tales of the Empire. We get some new news, some Star Wars
Jar Jar.
stuff. Little Darth Jar Jar. That's right.
Missa, a Sith Lord.
Yeah.
It's,
And Ahmed Best back.
he's back.
He's back. He's back. Ahmed
Not
Best
just
is
as,
back.
Not just as Kelleran Beck in The Mandalorian.
True. He is back literally as Darth Jar Jar, the fan theory that
The
has been
Lego
going
Star
on
Wars,
for years. He
yeah.
is back playing actual Darth Jar Jar
In
the
basically
Lego.
a Star Wars What If.
And a Star Wars What If. Yeah,
It's
a Lego show,
Lego.
which is a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Do it in Lego. Do a Star Wars What If in the Lego series.
That's great.
But yeah, we're gonna dive into that. We got a new Acolyte trailer that we're gonna discuss.
and Acolyte's really close now.
Acolyte is close. It's coming up. A few weeks.
Just a
Few
couple
weeks.
here.
Was it June? June
June
4th? June 4th. Wow. It's coming up. So yeah, we got some good things we're gonna talk about. We're gonna dive into. Do you have a topic that you want to start with?
Yes. Well, there's a couple of things I'd like to start with. One, let's talk about what we did for May 4th.
Yeah, we'll kick it off. What we did for May 4th.
Because we didn't record last week,
That's true.
so we didn't get to share our May 4th stuff. We don't have to spend a ton of time on it, but overall, Nate, you can start us off. What did you do for May 4th? Because you did also an additional thing that I didn't get to do. I mean, I guess I could have done it.
I did it. We did some things together.
You did some things.
We did some things together. But I did a handful of things actually. I mean, we always celebrate May 4th. We always do something. We get together. We do something with family, extended family.
Usually, Uncle hosts
Watch
a big
away.
party.
Uncle,
which
Uncle
they did
usually
again.
hosts the big party, which we'll discuss because of course they did it and they went all out.
Might have been too big of a party. when you
Probably
look
the
at it.
biggest
Probably the
May
reason
4th
he's not
party.
here. Too many Ronto raps.
Too many Ronto raps. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. But Star Wars Celebration, I went all out. Thanks to Taylor, my girlfriend, who helped segue a lot of that. Kind of led the front on that and really wanted to dive into the Star Wars Celebration May 4th. But I'll just take you through the day. Woke up, we got together, we went to I'm wearing the shirt. We got new shirts for the prequels because we went to see the 25th anniversary release of The Phantom Menace.
I did
in
not
theater.
Go. I wish I had.
So, and that was cool. That was really cool because one, I was so young when that first came out in the movie theaters that I don't really remember. I remember Revenge of the Sith, but that one was maybe a little before I was maybe old enough to really follow along with everything that was going on Star Wars wise. So that was really cool to see that on the big screen, but then also to see it with because of the nature of it being a 25th, there's going to be some hardcore fans and stuff that were
Mhm.
there. No one's, not the average person's just showing up to see a movie that
Yeah,
a re-release
that's
if they'd
25
never
years
seen it
old.
before. 25 years old. So, bunch of people in the theater there watching it. People dressed up. A buddy of ours actually came with a full robe on, and a lightsaber. It
That's
was
the way to do
great.
it.
So we saw that. We got the sneak peek of Acolyte. They gave us
Which
a
I
little.
haven't seen yet. I've seen the trailers.
They gave us a clip. So not just a trailer, but they gave us actually a full clip played out, which was really neat. So we got to see that. We celebrated. We actually Taylor gave me this Lego set, Millennium Falcon. This was also part
Yeah,
of the
that's pretty
25th
sweet.
anniversary series of Legos. They released some of these, like the medium-sized ships here. So built some of
That's
that. Yeah, we had a good time, and then of course we got together with Uncle for the May 4th party.
Yes, and Uncle's May 4th party. They do it big. Uncle and our Aunt Rachel. Aunt Rachel made, I don't know, 30 different Star Wars
It was-
inspired snacks.
I wish I took
We
pictures.
had Admiral Akbar
I
cookies.
wish that I just had them popping up on the
Oh.
screen because it was so.
We needed. We had,
did.
Admiral
We had
Akbar
Akbar cookies,
We had Akbar cookies. Those were great.
X-wing cookies, TIE
X-wing
fighters.
cookies, lightsaber, pretzels.
Yeah,
with ice,
chocolate-covered
chocolate
pretzels.
Covered. Oh man, it was just.
Ewok.
It was awesome.
Teddy
Yeah, Ewok
Grahams.
Teddy Grahams.
It was so good.
There was
Death Star pizza.
Death Star pizza. There was
There was a lot. Listen,
even the ice was shaped. She had frozen the ice in the different shapes. It was just.
it was
It was all
great.
out. It
It
was
was
so
great.
much fun, and it's also fun because the May the 4th stuff was something that was not at all a thing when I was a kid. It wasn't. May the 4th has been in just a recent handful of years has May the 4th become a bigger thing. It became like I think like a social media thing of like, oh, May the 4th and May the 4th.
Yeah,
So people started doing
May
that,
the
and then
4th
all of a
be
sudden
with you.
all of a sudden Star Wars itself embraced it
as Star
and-
Wars Day.
as Star Wars Day. So
because
it's
why
been really
not
cool.
take an excuse to just sell a
Why
bunch
not?
of stuff?
why not take an excuse to, and for them, take an excuse to release a little teaser here, a new Hot Toys here, a new Funko Pop here.
New Funkos. Those Funkos have been nice lately.
There's been some good Funkos.
Some good
Every time I go
Ahsoka
to
ones.
Target or go somewhere, I go,
Take pictures
"Oh,
of
maybe
them.
I'll see you later. I go over there and just take a picture of a bunch of them. So a lot of fun stuff for May the 4th, and also, what was released on May the 4th? Tales of the Empire,
Tales of
which
the Empire.
I watched. I think did you watch all of it on May the 4th?
Yeah, that was actually the first thing we did. Taylor and I watched. We watched, I think, maybe the first 4 episodes. That was how much time we had.
Yeah.
Before we had to go to our Phantom Menace showing, then came back and finished the last 2 episodes.
Before you had to go.
Before we had to go back and watch more Star Wars.
Phantom Menace, and then the Star Wars Celebration. There was a lot of things he had to do. What a sad story, this guy.
The best things ever to have to go to. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So then we went
Well,
back
we
and
will.
watched it.
We will then because Uncle's not here. We will touch on our Tales of the Empire, but we'll save some of our discussion for next time because we haven't really discussed it with him.
Yeah.
Since
Well,
he
we'll
watched
definitely
it.
get his thoughts.
So
for
we
sure.
want to get super in depth with him, but we'll do just kind of quick overall thoughts or favorite moments. Tales of the Empire. What'd you think? I really enjoyed Tales of the Empire. I think their
loved it.
animation is unbelievable.
The animation
um,
is top notch.
I like the idea that they established with Tales of the Jedi of there being two characters, and you've got these storylines, some of which,
Yeah.
like in Tales of the Jedi, they even connect a little bit more, and the themes are a little bit more related. There's some connection in these two, but they're also 2 separate stories of Barriss Offee and Morgan Elsbeth.
Yeah.
And first of all, just to start, these 2 characters, I'll say, when I first saw the trailer, and when I found out that the stories would be about Morgan Elsbeth and Barriss Offee, I had 2 reactions. One, I was like, "Oh, Barriss, I forgot she's still out there," because anyone who's watched the Clone Wars, she, essentially
Went to jail.
framed Ahsoka, blew up a building, did a number of things because she was
As a way to get back at the Jedi.
get back at the Jedi,
Council.
and she had some legitimate gripes with the Jedi, which is that there are a number of people who have had
Yeah.
legitimate gripes.
Can I
with the
just
Jedi.
go on record,
Connection
though?
to Dooku?
Can I go on record and
Okay,
say,
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
just gripes with the Jedi?
I hope that this is not controversial.
I hope it's not.
I hope
Gripes
this-
of the Jedi, blowing up buildings, usually isn't the greatest way to respond.
I usually don't. In my personal life,
Usually.
I'm just 9 times out of 10. I'm not blowing up the building. But catch me on the wrong day. Maybe someone swerved in front of me in traffic.
Take that,
No,
Jedi.
I'm just kidding. No, that's obviously the story's deeper than that. But on the if you pull back and you go
Bird's eye view.
if you say the Jedi are evil, the Jedi are bad. It's like Anakin. My point of view, the Jedi are evil. So I killed all those children. Well, now
So-
you're
okay, well,
clearly the
now you're
evil
clearly
one.
the evil one.
You're clearly the evil
Jedi
one.
are
Do
evil.
Anakin,
Okay.
real quick.
Let's
I
go
hate to-
blow
I
up
hate
a
to
planet.
Stop you right mid yell, Anakin. But do you have any evidence of them slaughtering children, or was that just you? You just slaughtered children?
All of them?
You are not just the men, but the women and the children too. That's
All
for,
of them.
That's for the Tusken
That's for
Raiders.
the
but
Raiders.
Still. So when it was announced that it was these two characters, I had 2 initial thoughts. One was, oh yeah, Barriss. Oh, I forgot she's still out there. That's exciting to see what happens there. And then Morgan Elsbeth. I was like, oh, great, we'll see more of Morgan Elsbeth. I will say I was initially like, oh, wouldn't be the 2 characters I would have chosen right away, having not seen it.
Yeah.
But that's what's great about these shows is that obviously in our minds when we've speculated, we're like, oh yeah, we'd love to see a young Palpatine and a Plagueis, or we'd
Yeah.
love to see a Luke training a Ben Solo, which I still would just kill for it.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. But when they were like, oh, these 2 characters that neither of which I have previously a super strong connection to. Like
Mhm.
I liked Barriss's character in Clone Wars, and I've been intrigued by Morgan Elsbeth and have been curious.
Yeah.
But these stories, they do such a great job of, after watching the stories, they do such a great job of these. It's so interesting, the different mediums, but these to me feel like, when they do the 3 episodes, I feel like, oh, that feels like a pretty good complete story for that character. Where like in
Yeah.
a live action episode, I might get a live action episode that's as long as all 3 of these, combined, and go, short episode.
Not
Right?
much
A little
happened.
too much Jack Black in it for my taste. No, even though I like Jack Black. Skadoosh. But I'm rambling now. But so that was my initial thoughts. My initial thoughts were, oh, surprised they chose these 2 characters. Okay,
Oh.
maybe not the characters I'm most invested in, and then I watched it and I really enjoyed it.
Loved
And
it.
then obviously, like they've done with Tales of the Empire, that ties in
Yeah.
bigger characters, that ties in Thrawn with Morgan Elsbeth, obviously Grievous. Grievous, this is the scariest we've ever seen Grievous, in my opinion.
Grievous was one thing I was going to mention.
And him going,
Menacing.
and just like
Grievous
cackling through the
Grievous
jungle.
is perfect for animation. He's perfect
Yeah,
for animation.
Yeah, because the design looks great.
The design
it doesn't
looks
look goofy
incredible.
in animation.
It looks so good. Yeah, you can make him menacing even with the fire and flames of
was
Dathomir
great.
all around him. It was
The
it was
Dathomir
great.
stuff was
I like
dark.
that they I like that they showed basically, because we've heard a lot about it,
yeah,
the
that was
the
the
end
this.
of Dathomir and the Night Sisters essentially for the most part, and
the exception of the
um,
Mountain Clan.
yeah, true, the Mountain Clan. But getting to see that kind of played out, and even just like, I can't remember the name of the ships that fly over, but the battle droid
Yeah,
ships flying
Yeah,
over.
totally.
Usually, we're so used to seeing Imperial ships
Mhm.
flying over and be like, oh, TIE fighters, and
yeah.
like, oh, that's like menacing because we have that nostalgia behind those ships. But then seeing those fly over and hunting them down and dropping battle droids and stuff, I'm
Yes.
like, oh man, that's.
Keep talking. I'm
That's,
blanking. I'm listening to you, but I'm trying to look up.
It was
what those
it
are
was just
called,
cool to
those-
see because it was
those ships.
different, but obviously familiar with what we know. And so seeing Grievous played out, seeing Dathomir, and like you said with Morgan Elsbeth, not a character probably I was most invested in, but this made me more invested in that character, getting more of that backstory. I liked the idea of Thrawn's tie.
Yeah.
You get to see more of him and his plan before obviously he gets lost in a different galaxy. But you get to see why she's so loyal to Thrawn.
Yep.
Because they really lay out a good job of her. I don't know if it's a fall, but her almost like manipulation into joining the Empire because of the greed and power that she wants.
Yeah.
And they do a good job of taking her from this character who was somewhat compassionate for her people and even the mountain people in some ways to now I want the power that took out my people. I want that.
Yeah.
And so it kind of shows you how could you go join this essentially group that pretty much started it all to now you're with them. So it's interesting story to see, and obviously we don't know a ton about that character, so it was cool to see that and the ties to Thrawn, which obviously leads to Ahsoka. But yeah, and then Barriss was really cool. Last we saw, she was arrested for her crimes against the Jedi.
Anakin turned her in.
Yeah,
He had
that was really cool to see. Actually, I'm glad you said that. Her sitting there bowing to first off Vader on screen, even it's just.
It was so quick.
It was
I
so
wish
quick.
Just a little more.
It was so quick.
We
but
didn't even get his voice at all, right? I think he just
the breath.
Chair. Yeah,
just the breath.
But
it was
cool.
so quick that he has such a presence. You see him just walking, and you're just like, dude, Vader's just. You see all the crazy stuff that the Inquisitors and stuff do, and how mean they are, and then you see them bow to Vader, and you're like, yeah, Vader's just on a different level.
Yeah,
But seeing Barriss kneel before him, the person who turned her in, and now she's loyal to him and bending the knee, knowing that he obviously knows who she is, but she doesn't know who he is just crazy.
Well, yeah, it is. I was wondering, and again, not a gripe at all. I was wondering if there would have been any dynamic at all between those two, or any conversation.
I thought when he sat down in the throne that we might get a little like head nod, just looking at her, like a recognition of like, I know you.
Because remember, at this point, he's trying to fight and forget all Anakin.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting whenever there's someone that Anakin should know, because Vader is trying to kill Anakin in his head. He's always like, forget it.
Anakin's gone.
Oh, I remember you back from.
Anakin's gone.
I am what remains.
I am what remains.
The show is great. I mean, we'll talk next time with Uncle about maybe speculation, even more of. Now, I would love to. They've done Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire. I would love, one. It could be Tales of something else, but I would also just love Tales of the Jedi Season 2, like Tales of, because the Empire can be used, I guess, loosely because it's Tales of the Empire, but that can also be in different time periods. It could be Tales of the Dark Side, meaning a Ben Solo's fall. He's not part of the Empire because it's post-Empire.
Yeah.
Technically becomes part of the First
Order.
Palpatine, you've got Final Order stuff, you've got prequel stuff. I do think I think maybe definitely Palpatine Plagueis. I think everyone's always just going to be calling for Plagueis.
Everyone's always going to be calling for Plagueis.
But Luke, Ben Solo.
Luke and Ben Solo.
Or just Luke in general. Luke doing anything post Return of the Jedi, pre Force Awakens. We see the couple glimpses of him in Mandalorian, and then obviously Book of Boba Fett. But actually, to see the missions he's on, would be great. And I think it would be perfect to do in animation form, because I don't think they're doing.
Maybe some.
I don't think they're bringing Mark Hamill back.
No, maybe some.
Because they've
Ochi.
Yeah, little Ochi
Ochi
Bastoon.
Bastoon action.
Got a little Shadows the Sith. Shadow of the Sith?
Yeah, Shadow of the
Yeah.
Sith.
That'd be cool.
Get some of that. Yeah. It would be
be
cool
cool.
to see Luke actually in animation. That would be.
I think it'd be the great way to do it. I mean, also
would be really
Mark
cool.
Hamill's a voice actor, so like he's
Yeah.
that's-
And they've
this-
already
they've already done stuff to de-age.
they've
the
already
voice
they've already done stuff to de-age his voice using
I think
his
that'd be
voice
cool.
but de-aging it a little bit to make it sound.
And for the animated shorts, you're also doing it where it's like, well, we need to record 20 lines of dialogue for you for the whole episode, maybe like
Yeah.
if that.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, we do a Luke Skywalker movie, and we need 2 hours of you being the main character, and then
Yeah.
even the voice stuff becomes a little trickier, where it's just that much. But it's like, no, I would love to see Luke training Leia. We get the glimpse in Rise of
Yeah.
Skywalker, but there's tons of stories out there. But those are ones definitely. I saw a couple people say, "Give me a little Balin as a dark side. Give me some Balin backstory.
True.
It'd be incredible.
Balin's
Maybe it even ends up
conversion.
with him meeting Shin Hati
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because remember he's on the
I need to rewatch Ahsoka just talking about it. It's so good.
Balin's beard is incredible.
Balin's beard.
Balin sounds like that. It sounds like someone go
Merlin's beard.
Balin's beard. Oh boy. But yeah, we'll get into that even more in depth as far as what we think, maybe predictions of what the next season of that could look like. Or
yeah, and if you
where it
guys
could
saw Tales of the Empire, let us know what you thought. Some of your favorite
Yeah.
moments or maybe episodes, which character you liked story
It was
following.
great.
I liked that they showed Barriss go to the Empire, but they gave her a little redemptive arc to kind of end her
Oh yeah.
her ways. But so that was cool. And then I'm drawing
She
a blank.
becomes a
but-
monk,
yeah.
to not use the. Definitely, I saw someone commented on Twitter. I think it was. It said
She took the Ezra route.
take the Ezra. So he said
Took the
he
Ezra
said-
route
Someone
and gave
said,
up
"Well,
her lightsaber.
Filoni is loving turning these Jedi into monks and saying, I don't need a lightsaber. The Force is my ally.
That's true.
That's it.
That's true.
Right.
And then that Inquisitor, I can't remember. I'm
Is
drawing
it
a blank.
Lynn?
Was it
Some-
Lynn?
it's
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. It was something like that.
Gosh, here, just keep stalling.
I'll stall. Do.
Tell us what your favorite part in the Phantom Menace was. Of seeing it in
Phantom Menace.
theaters. What was your favorite thing you saw as I
just-
look up?
all of it. Probably Force Speed.
Force Speed is the one.
The one
that's
time
my
in all
favorite.
of Star Wars they Force Speed and just
Also within the
Teleport,
same
basically.
movie, within the same movie, it would have been so helpful at the end when, when Obi-Wan is running to Qui-Gon and he keeps getting caught in all this Force shields.
Hey,
that
what
keeps
about that Force Speed trick you used to
We
start the
did.
movie? Why don't you try that one?
Yeah.
But yeah, seeing that play out, the soundtrack's just unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Duel of Fates and
It is.
everything Darth Maul, so
It's
good.
incredible. Give me
It's
about
so good.
30 more seconds of stalling. Keep it going.
If
You're
it is
crushing
Lynn,
it.
whatever her name is, I liked
We're gonna
seeing.
find out.
I liked seeing.
Lynn. Okay, it was Lynn.
Her-
Lynn / fourth sister. That's
Okay.
what I thought. Lynn.
I loved. Okay, so here's the
'Cause
thing.
obviously it's the same actress from Obi-Wan.
Last thing on Tales of the Empire. I loved that when Vader came in and all the Inquisitors are there, like, bowing to him,
Yeah.
that each Inquisitor we see up there is something that we have seen from a different show.
Yeah, we've seen. Basically, that was the cast of
That
people
was the cast of all
that
different-
Ahsoka defeated. It was everyone that
basically.
Ahsoka defeated, including her.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Except for-
Barriss.
yeah. What's her name?
I can't remember the brother's name, the number from Tales of the Empire,
Tales of the Empire.
that Ahsoka takes on. And then Lynn.
Lynn, who was the same, voiced by the same actress.
Obviously, the
And
Grand
they made her even look
Grand
like the same.
Inquisitor was
Which was Jason Isaacs again.
menacing.
Jason Isaacs is back
Yeah.
as the Grand Inquisitor, which Jason Isaacs, for any of you who might not know the name, or maybe it sounds familiar, is Lucius Malfoy in
Mhm.
Harry Potter.
Yeah,
He's a great
He is
villain
great.
voice for sure.
he is
So
great.
having him back and just having his head look the correct shape meant so much to me.
His set, listen.
I'm just kidding. Although I will
That's
say,
it.
as time goes, whenever they cut back to, I didn't have any problem with the Inquisitor heads like shape stuff for Obi-Wan. As time goes and they show the old picture, I do think it looks a little bit more odd.
In the live action, or
the live action looks a little bit more odd as time goes, just because it looks so
you know what's happening?
so
Listen,
so
Chad.
it looks
Listen.
so round.
Listen,
No,
Chad.
no, it's
you know
not- I
what's
don't have a
happening with
problem.
this guy? He's getting old and cynical.
No,
This
not
guy.
at all, not at all.
He's getting old and he is hating.
No, what
on
I was gonna
Star
say is
Wars.
I
And
didn't have any problem with it, and I still don't. There were people who were like, "This show stinks because his head's the wrong shape," and I'm like, no, I'm like, no, the show doesn't stink. It's just less than because his head shape.
It's not, it
I'm
doesn't stink. It's just,
kidding.
it's just, it could have been way better.
It's just funny because I think that he has an abnormally boxed head.
He
compared to-
does.
Like there are people who had a thinner head. Like there's people who just naturally have a thinner head shape, or longer head shape. That he has kind of a short, boxy head, and so it just looked it looked the opposite of that.
Yeah.
But again, do I care?
Yeah,
A lot.
a lot. It means a
No,
lot.
I don't care about it at all.
No,
I
it
love
is,
Obi-Wan. I can't wait to.
It is.
go back
It is
and rewatch
goofy.
Obi-Wan.
It is goofy. But hey, it is what it
I
is.
didn't
It's
have
too
any
late
problem
now.
with it.
Too late now.
It's just like I didn't have any problem with all the guys running after little Leia and running into the branches.
That was my favorite part. That chase scene is so bad. That's
It's not,
okay.
it's not great.
That's so bad.
You could put, even though I love Obi-Wan Kenobi, might be my favorite series. You can let's put that chase scene of him running, and let's put the Mos Espa Vespas in the same category. It's just like, man, this is a slow chase.
What were we
scene, but,
doing
like,
here?
This was.
It was
someone
a
should've been
mistake.
like, this
That's all it
this
was.
is a little-
It's okay.
Or wait, what?
Directors aren't perfect. Did you guys know that? They're not perfect.
They're not. I
They're
look
not.
up to these people.
You can still look up to them.
Just- I only look up to perfection. Speaking of which,
Perfection.
speaking of perfection, I have some
Acolyte
good
trailer.
things to share with
Oh.
everyone because I'm perfect. No, I screenshotted this because this actually ties into what we're saying about looking up to people in perfection. I like this. This is a
What's
great.
this
This
guy
is a great
talking
quote.
about?
This is a great quote. This was on Twitter. This was a Ryan Johnson quote that just resurfaced. It wasn't a new quote, but I saw someone share this about Ryan Johnson talking about Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi.
Okay,
Quote.
let's hear it because we can't go through an episode and not talk Last Jedi.
Can't do it, won't do it. I think it disrespects the character of Luke Skywalker by treating him not as a true mythic hero, overcoming recurring wounds and flaws, but as a video game character who has achieved a binary permanent power-up. Ryan Johnson, couldn't agree more.
Yeah, true.
So many people were like, that's not my Luke. My Luke doesn't do
My
that.
Luke is the ultimate power.
So your Luke's dumb boy.
Dumb boy.
Just kidding. No, I
Hey,
I
dummy.
get people being surprised by seeing Luke having changed. Having said that, hopefully between the ages of 25 and 60, you change.
You do
You
change.
change and you go through different trials, and I liked that. I love The Last Jedi.
Same.
So
Love it. Let's
All right,
talk
let's keep going.
Acolyte.
Acolyte.
Acolyte trailer. New one.
Did
Or
you-
all of them.
I'll let you start because you said you just watched
I
it.
did. I watched it this morning, actually. Acolyte trailer, fantastic. The new I mean, all of them have been great. The new trailer shows a little bit more. We get a look at that Sith, Dark Force user, whatever it is,
Almost
mask.
like a Abeloth looking face.
It does look
It's
like
like-
a.
Like,
it looks-
it looked very Halloween masky.
It did
like
look
scary.
very Halloween masky / Kylo Ren-esque.
Kylo
uh,
Rennis.
Kylo
Is that
Renaissance.
the Phantom Kylo Rennis? Phantom Menace. It's like the teeth smile though.
Yeah.
The mask looked definitely a little purgy.
It did. It
A
did.
little scary.
Which is kind of the vibe they're going for. A little haunting, a little like,
It was
what is this
haunting.
thing in the shadows?
Yeah.
I liked hearing some of the dialogue of like something out there is killing Jedi, hunting down Jedi. What is it? Them trying to figure out this. It's not just like, oh, yep, the Sith, yep, there's Vader, there's the Emperor, they're doing their thing and blowing up planets. No, this is them working in the shadows,
Yeah.
picking off Jedi one by one. What's going on? And then we get a dialogue of I trained her. It was something along the lines of like,
Yep.
I trained her. I should let me like take her on or let me, confront her or something. Which makes you think, huh? This person you trained, is it a fallen Jedi, or is it
Rue from the Hunger Games.
Rue from the Hunger Games, or is it
That's not a joke. It's the actress.
It
who
is
plays
actually
from the Hunger
Rue
Games.
from the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
But or is it similar to like a Ahsoka Sabine, High Republic is taking the approach of, and I can, even though you're not Jedi, maybe
Yeah.
the strongest in the Force, I can train you in some martial arts type stuff. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see these characters played out. And we got to see some characters we know from the books live action, so that'll be cool too.
We got to see a little bit more of, I can't remember what they said her name is for this show, so I'll just keep saying Trinity from The Matrix.
True.
We got to see a little more of her fighting. Her also
Very Matrix.
yeah,
Yes.
very much. Which, by the way, did I read you any of the quotes of her saying of oh gosh, what's her name? The creator of the show was talking about how like Carrie-Ann Moss. Carrie-Ann Moss is the actress who plays Trinity, and the creator of Acolyte was like, "Oh yeah, this character is Trinity in Star Wars." She's like,
Yeah.
"I put her in here because I love The Matrix. And I love her as Trinity, and so I wanted Trinity to be in Star Wars. So like, it's that type of a character.
It's supposed to be,
So
which
it's supposed to be,
which
which is great.
To be honest, fits
Feels that.
very well with what the Jedi are supposed to be. Like, it is
That's
you attack me, I'm dodging, I'm defensive, I'm playing, protection
Very, yeah.
and peace and protection and defense, and it's not just Anakin whip my lightsaber out as the answer to everything.
Not the Jedi should be.
Anakin don't. I can take him.
I can take him.
It's not like that. It's more, I'll use my lightsaber if I have to, but let me just show off my little dodgy moves a
I
little.
always love. I'm taking him now. Anakin, no. Whoa. Just
Whoa.
immediately defeated.
Yeah, immediately.
And then Obi-Wan, the next movie. Oh, don't go again. He's a Sith Lord. Chancellor, Sith Lord's our speciality. He's like,
Didn't
just
you get
got your
chopped to pieces?
You got you were unconscious. Yoda came to save you. You lost your arm. You have no place to talk. Get out of here. Neither of you have ever defeated a Sith Lord ever, except for Obi-Wan. He came in, and it was too late after his master had been killed.
Defeated Darth Maul after it was too late.
speciality. You got
over.
one victory in it. One
Cost a life.
and your victory was your best friend and mentor dying. but you
Hey.
didn't even win. You beat him.
You
but-
didn't finish him.
You didn't finish him off until later. You didn't kill him. The Acolyte. I'm excited about it.
It looks really good.
It looks really good. It is amazing that we're this close to it coming.
Also, great shots of the Jedi Temple in the trailer. It's just cool
Yeah.
seeing the High Republic era live action on screen, seeing places we're familiar with, like Coruscant, like the Jedi Temple, but now it's in a completely different era.
Yeah.
The clothing, the apparel, everything's different. It's all High Republic. Really, really cool and neat to see that
Definitely.
play out.
As far as we are, let's see, I'm looking at the calendar. We are, we're 2.5 weeks.
Oh man,
2.5 weeks out.
2 episodes. Is it 2 episodes?
2-episode
Premiere?
premiere. What right now I would
Do
say.
we have the total episode count?
I think it's 8.
8 episodes.
I think it's 8.
8 episodes, 2 episode premiere, 7 weeks.
I think. Let me see. How long? How many episodes?
Or an Acolyte.
Okay, we've got 8 episodes.
8
Yep.
episodes with
8
2
total.
episode premiere. Okay. I can't
Scale of
wait.
1
I
to
can't
10.
wait for
Scale of
Acolyte.
1 to 10. What's your excitement level at right now for Acolyte?
Scale of 1 to 10. An 8.
That's what I was gonna say.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It's like the number 8.
It's a good number.
Yeah. It's irrelevant to the question. I just
Yeah.
chose the number.
Anytime anybody asks
Oh,
me
yeah.
1 to 10 on a scale, it's 8.
Well,
Doesn't
the
matter
only
what it
reason I
is.
even brought that up was I just want an excuse to be able to say it. The number 8.
It just
So
feels
I
good.
Say, hey, could you get that off that top shelf? Hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how high is that shelf? 8?
Right?
Is it 8? I
Right?
love 8.
I love
That's
8.
a ridiculous bet. No, I actually I would 8 also because I mean, just to be completely transparent, until the next Star Wars movie, I don't see me ever being at a 10.
No.
Not because I'm not super excited. I just think I'm literally not capable of getting as excited.
As excited as
for a
I
show.
would be for
I love. They could
for a
announce
movie.
tomorrow. Oh, by the way, we shot a secret season of The Mandalorian. It comes out tomorrow. All of it comes out, and I'd be so excited. That might get me to an 8 or a 9. Nothing could get me to a 10 except for the movies right now. Just because
honestly,
I am missing the movies.
I'll
so
be honest
much.
with you. Can I be honest with you?
Good, because this is where the spice hits.
I think it needs we need
This is where the spice hits right now.
even the Mandalorian and Grogu might even be a 9 for me. The movie.
Oh yeah, no, me too.
Just because the characters and the story of where we're at with that.
Yeah.
I like the characters. I like the story, but
No, if you're asking what I personally am more excited for the Rey movie than I am for Mandalorian and Grogu.
I am too.
Even though I'm really excited for Mandalorian.
I'm
and
much
Grogu,
more excited for the Rey movie than
but I'm
Mandalorian
more
and
excited
Grogu.
for the Rey movie. I think I will. This is a me thing.
It is a you thing.
Yeah, this is a me thing.
It's an 8.
This whole podcast is
Really about me when you look at it. It's about me.
no, what I say is a me thing is I think that I will have a little bit of. I sometimes in my mind categorize and still think of the Mandalorian and Grogu movie as great. It feels like
a show I'm gonna
a
watch
show movie
at the movie theater.
Yeah, like that I'm gonna be excited about, but that I don't view it as big of a thing as.
Did you know the whole thing is shot on the volume?
Yeah, the whole thing's shot in Jon Favreau's garage. They said
It is. It's all minifigs.
He has a huge garage.
Yes, a huge, probably the biggest.
Probably he's got, they said, probably Rancor in the garage.
No,
That is not true. It's not
No.
all shot on the
no,
volume.
it's none of it's no a lot of it. I don't have any. Stats
There
as
might,
far
but
as
I
how
don't
much.
think all of it is.
It is all shot in California, which I know is a first for Star Wars because they always do it in Pinewood
is.
Studio in London.
Yeah.
usually. Not all of it in London because they go to like Tunisia and stuff. But I also screenshot this talking about Mandalorian and Grogu. A little bit of news: Sigourney Weaver announced possibly joining the Mandalorian and Grogu cast.
Oh.
Which Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
You got for anyone who knows Sigourney Weaver, popular from the Alien franchise. I mean, she's done a lot, but the
Yeah.
Alien franchise, obviously, most recently, she's been in Avatar
Yep.
franchise.
Yeah. Avatar.
Um,
You may not recognize her as much from that.
There's been a lot of stuff.
She's the
I love Galaxy Quest. She's one of the main
Galaxy
characters in
Quest.
She's great. In
She
Galaxy
is
Quest.
great in Galaxy West.
So yeah, but that's some exciting. You got some exciting news there. Another thing I want to tell you: Phantom Menace is now. Variety reports.
Oh,
Phantom
I saw
Menace is
this.
now the most watched Star Wars film ever on Disney Plus,
Phantom Menace.
which just shows how people have changed,
And-
which is great.
yeah.
It shows people. Oh, this is the worst. George Lucas killed my childhood. It's the most watched Star Wars movie on the platform.
Listen, I'm calling it right now. I've been saying it since it happened. The sequels are going to be no different. Give it 10 years, the sequels are going to be the most.
You mean no different as far as how people view, like
how
they
people view
come
them,
around
how
on
much people love them. The sequels are going to be the most watched.
The
come 10
sequels will be
years
the
from
new
now.
prequels.
They will be. They'll be the new prequels. Hated at first, everyone loves them later on. That's just how things work. It is the cycle of Star Wars. It's just how it is. That's what
It
happens.
is the cycle of Star Wars. I screenshot this as well on May the 5th, so I didn't get to share this in the last podcast here. John Watts, the creator of Skeleton Crew, has revealed a description of a Skeleton Crew's plot.
Oh,
Quote, it's about a group of kids that find a buried spaceship on their boring planet, accidentally turn it on, get blasted off into the galaxy, and it's the story about them trying to find their way back home.
Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew.
Is that actually what it says?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's interesting.
I'm trying to picture kids accidentally getting blasted off into space.
Whoa!
Whoa!
uh,
Interesting.
that's all they said in that little thing.
But,
But
I
obviously
mean,
there's a
to
lot
be
more
fair,
to
that's
it.
got
There's a
like
lot more to it.
probably the most basic description.
Yeah, I mean they've
possible.
said that Skeleton Crew is supposed to have an Amblin feel, so like an
Yeah.
old school, like an E.T., Stranger Things, that
Stranger
type
Things,
of an
young
old school, children
youth,
focused.
almost. Yeah.
Basically, I just want to see little kids on bikes. If I get kids on bikes, then I have my E.T., I have my
Kids on
Stranger
bikes fighting demogorgons and finding
Things, and
aliens.
dressing up as Ghostbusters for Halloween. If I get all those,
If I get all those,
then be a happy guy.
happy guy. We'll get a season 2.
We get season 2. We don't know yet if Skeleton Crew's up 1 season.
Do we know
2
about Acolyte
season,
either?
3 season. Acolyte, they said, yeah.
No,
Acolyte,
they did. They did. They teased
She
it.
said,
yeah.
she said, we're.
I had to
only
save some
introducing-
characters for season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think? And again, I think this will be a bigger, because we had planned a little bit of a bigger discussion to do with Uncle next time. So maybe we'll tease it a little bit, or you and I can have a tip of the iceberg of it, and we'll really discuss next time. But when we're looking at where are these shows, the movies, the future of Star Wars, which we've done a number of future of Star Wars episodes of the podcast before, but especially now as we're getting close to Acolyte. We're post Tales of the Empire. We are post Bad Batch. So as of now, we actually don't have another animated show that we know is coming out. Because Tales of the Empire
Yeah.
done. They haven't announced anything. They haven't announced the next Tales of, even in production or anything yet, to my knowledge. Obviously, Clone Wars.
I don't
Rebels.
think I don't think Filoni will ever stop Star Wars animation.
I don't think so either. But
That's
takes
that's
a while.
his thing.
It
does
I'm
take
sure
a
they're
while.
working on stuff right now. But
I don't.
But as far as what's been announced, we are entering, and I've said this for probably 6 months whenever I think about it and bring it up, is that we are entering a time period of Star Wars, and maybe it's exciting that we're getting to this point where it's like basically we're almost at the end. After Acolyte and Skeleton Crew, although Skeleton Crew, I don't even
of
know
all the things that were
I don't know if
announced.
Skeleton Crew was, I don't think Skeleton Crew was even in that initial announcement.
No.
Acolyte was.
Acolyte.
Because I remember because they
Andor.
actually changed the font. Acolyte was that red font.
It was.
That
They
was like the
changed it.
diagonal Acolyte with like the slash through it.
Yeah, they gave
Now they changed it to like
rebranded.
the rings sort of Acolyte thing. Which Disney loves to do that. Remember how the Loki font changed like a big time?
Yeah.
It was like Loki, and then all of a sudden it went to like Loki with the different symbols or whatever.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at here is we're at almost the end of this like 4 or 5 year run of here's the shows, the movies, the things we've announced. Obviously, some of those things haven't come to fruition. Some have fallen off, like Rogue Squadron, which
Yeah.
potentially could be getting back into it. The Lando thing, which is again talked about, but could be years away
it's
still.
it's with Thrawn in a different galaxy.
The
Still out there.
The Taika Waititi one, which is in a galaxy where just Russell Crowe and Hemsworth and Taika sitting there on a planet.
It
going,
is.
I think we might have overdid it.
Yeah.
But these shows, Mandalorian, if you're asking me, do I think Mandalorian is closer to the end than it is the beginning? I think it's closer to the end.
I think I think it's just the
I think-
movie.
I think the movie might be. Do you know why I'm saying this also? Is I feel like feel like Pedro Pascal is near the end of his Mandalorian run.
He is.
Also, like I do feel like
I don't even think he's in the movie. No, seriously.
They did say
I
he's
think
like.
I saw
I think they
something
said he
like-
might not be revealed at all in it or something.
Like, I don't
that.
even
It might,
think-
like
I
just be
don't- I
voice acting.
I think he's just
because of
voice
it. They're
acting.
saying because of his schedule that people were like, I don't think he even can.
So he's
film for
never
this.
taken that helmet off.
Which I wonder now. What's funny is
they take it off and they just switch. It's one of the stunts.
What's
they
funny
do.
is-
It's
yeah.
not even him anymore.
what's funny is you actually wonder if they changed story
I think they did.
because of his schedule.
I
They
honestly
found
think
out,
they
oh,
did.
if he actually learns from his mistake as far as not being, they referred to it as a cult, him not taking his helmet off. Oh, you believe all this stuff? Oh, and then he takes his helmet off at the end of season 2. And then all of a sudden he gets even more popular, though, and gets cast in all these, and he gets cast in Fantastic Four now. He gets cast in
True.
Last of Us. He gets cast in these different things and also other movies that then in between that summer and the next year of like filming, they're like, oh wait, he can't his schedule. We have to write it immediately back in the show that he didn't learn from this at all, or that he immediately
I
was
seriously think they may have changed it and made it so that I don't know if they
like
if
that
they
they
intended
changed
that.
it because
They changed it
not
because
vice
of his
versa. Not that it just
his
worked
schedule.
out that way. Like, oh, this works, but they're like, oh, actually, we would love to have him in there more, but he can't. So now we have to write in story why he can't.
Yeah.
Because he doubles down on the.
Yeah.
But also for our Mandalorian clans, we don't want them all to be sticklers, so we'll let Bo-Katan take hers off and like other people because that's what they've always done. And because as the show, they prefer them to have him off, but for him, we have to have this rule because it'll only make sense.
I honestly think that they may have done that,
I think they might have.
and I think it hurt the show, to be honest.
I do too because
I was way more connected to the build-up of season 2 than I have been since. But anyway,
Yeah. But so all that to say, Mandalorian, things that are in our rearview mirror, which is kind of sad now because when you think of that announcement, it's not
Yeah.
sad of what we got because we've gotten all of it, and to me, for the most part, a ton of it's been awesome. The majority of it's been awesome, but the things
Mando.
that were announced,
Andor
Andor hadn't come out yet. They were filming Andor at the time. We still have
we
Andor
still get
season 2,
season 2 of Andor.
but Mandalorian, most of Mandalorian is over. We have the movie coming.
Mhm.
So Mandalorian,
Andor,
Obi-Wan,
Obi-Wan.
Andor, Ahsoka. Those are all Book of Boba Fett, which was announced after
That
that.
was a surprise.
Those are all live action shows. I'm trying to think of how many live action shows we've gotten, and how.
Which
and
Ahsoka.
now Acolyte's coming out.
Yeah.
Ahsoka, a season 2, I
Season
think,
2.
is underway. But you still wonder even what not what Ahsoka season 2 is gonna look like, but Ahsoka, I think it might be one more season. Maybe. I don't see Ahsoka being like the next 5-season show or something like
No.
that. So I don't know if they will do another 5-season show or 3 seasons like Mando. I mean, I don't think Marvel's doing multi-season
No,
shows.
they're cutting
like
back
that.
on all their content too.
And even the ones they've done, I don't think Marvel has actually ever done a long-standing show. Have they?
No, they've all been 2 seasons, maybe.
1 to 2. Loki is like 2.
2. Loki's 2.
But like WandaVision 1.
Captain America or the America show
What's
1.
what was the Oscar Isaac show?
Moon Knight 1.
Moon Knight 1.
Done one season. for
Hawkeye 1.
all of them.
Yeah, there was a lot of those that were.
Yeah, they're just 1 season.
So when we look at the future of Star Wars, I actually don't know. One, if animation-wise, they're going to do a multi-season show, even though that's been bread and butter animation-wise for years. Rebels, boom, 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 or Clone Wars, boom, 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 boom. Rebels, boom, boom, boom.
Bad Batch.
Resistance, it was even 3 seasons.
True.
Bad Batch, was it 3 seasons Resistance? 2 or 3
3.
seasons? 3. Bad Batch,
think
3 seasons.
I think it's 3. Maybe it's 2.
It was 2 or 3. I can't remember.
Can't remember.
I actually really like that show.
It's
It's obviously skewed towards a younger audience.
Yeah.
But I would kill for like a show like that right now,
I know.
just to have some coming out. So what I'm thinking of is the future of Star Wars television, both live action and animation, the short form stuff, not short episodes, potentially for the tales of the stuff, but like
season.
1 season.
2
So
seasons.
the next show they're going to announce, oh, here's your. The reason I say that is it feels like that's what the Disney format has become, as far as, I don't mean this as negative, but Marvel's doing it and Star Wars is doing it. I don't think that's a
No, put it out there.
chance.
Put it out there. Like, for instance, honestly,
Like Andor's way different because it's 12
Andor's
episodes.
different. Honestly, though, Mando, season 1, great. Season 2, great. Season 3,
It's
not my favorite.
It's not my favorite either. There's stuff in there I love, but to
Oh,
me,
there's great
To
stuff.
me, it
But to
felt
me, it
like,
felt like it
did
dropped
feel
off.
Like it dropped. It felt significantly. I thought less than the others.
But yeah,
some of that I think is like less of Pedro Pascal, more of kind of tying in different stuff, which I like the tie-in stuff, but also it felt like at times there was maybe less character development because of it. Where like the first season of Mando is
yeah,
small character driven. Even season 2, it starts tying in stuff, but then it has a huge character
Yeah.
revealed, character development at the end of him taking off his helmet, his connection to Grogu. But then there are a number of things that you kind of wonder where not like I'm questioning the decisions, but there are things that I think changed the show that I wonder if it was behind the scenes stuff that that I think was great through first 2 seasons that I think maybe complicated things for season 3. We talked about the Pedro Pascal thing.
Yeah.
Also, the 2 years of leading up to Grogu going to train to be a Jedi, and then in a matter of an episode of Book of Boba Fett, it's then done, and then he's back.
Yeah.
And so like he had 2 seasons to lead and get him there, and then by the next season, he's actually already back. And so then you have a little bit of just like it felt like for both those 2 things, like for Mando's growth and development of the helmet and connection, that it was building for 2 seasons. They have the moment of revelation, and it's a big learning moment. And then the next season kind of feels like they reset it a little.
Yeah.
And then same thing with
with I don't.
So I'm not to get critical of Mando, but just thinking of where Mando is going, why it feels like it's maybe closer to the end.
Well, yeah, I think
also
the movie,
World,
the
announced it.
The movie's going to be the end of it.
Yeah, I think it probably will be, because I think it's also weird going from a movie back to TV. Maybe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
I'm interested to see how it all ties together, though, because they've been claiming that this is all gonna tie together. So I think it might be a Thrawn tie-in. So how Mando and Ahsoka will tie together
for sure.
Will be interesting.
I think that'll be really interesting.
But yeah, future of we talked Tales of the Empire. We talked Acolyte. Talked May 4th celebrations. Upcoming Star Wars stuff.
Do you think that that animation wise, they're just gonna lean into the Tales of stuff, or do you think we'll get an announcement of not even like a long, like I don't think they're gonna do 7-season shows like they did for Clone Wars. It's just a different time. But Bad Batch,
three seasons
of like 15, 16 episodes. Do you think we have one of those that's coming, or do you think in the next few years the animation stuff, if we get it announced, is going to be another season of Visions and Tales of the Jedi Season 2, or Tales of the Bounty Hunters, Tales of...
I think we'll get a new show. A new 2-3 season show. I think.
You think so?
Just because I know that's Filoni's. He likes fleshing out. I'm sure he likes the tales of the Empire and Jedi, but it seems like he likes fleshing out these characters and telling.
He's got more on his plate these days.
I know, but that's
Mando,
I know, but that's
director,
director, bread and butter.
Creator of Ahsoka, writer, director for his movie. Remember, he's supposed to have a movie coming out too. Yeah. You got Favreau's got a movie. You got Filoni's got a movie.
Filoni's movie is just gonna be Ahsoka. It's just more Ahsoka.
It's just her on. It's just her. With he's definitely leading. I mean, the end of Ahsoka was definitely leading to.
I would be more interested in that movie.
Give me just a Mortis
Mando
movie.
But hey, there you have it. Future of Star Wars stuff coming.
Do you know what Sigourney Weaver? She's just coming in and replacing. Oh gosh, what's her name? Pelly? What's her name?
Pelimoto.
Pelly. She's just the new Pelimoto because she looks like her. She just.
She is.
They're like, Pelly got too weird, so we got a new one. Once they had that hole, she lost her tooth bit.
Don't even. Yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
But I don't want this to sound cynical at all. I'm super excited of where Star Wars is. It's more of just like it feels like the turning of a page of like.
It's a new era.
Here's the slate of all these shows. And
I'm
you
most
look at
excited.
that you look at that, and now I'm thinking, what's in the future that they've announced as far as shows go? Acolyte coming out in 2.5 weeks, and Skeleton Crew coming out later in the year, and that's all we've got.
And then potentially Lando.
Yeah, but the Lando they've said now is maybe a movie. That's what Donald Glover says.
Who knows?
But
it's
also,
gone from movie to show to movie to show.
Whenever someone, and this is another thing, whenever someone says, "Oh, this is actually going to be a movie," I actually think, "Oh, exciting!" And also now I won't see it for like 8 years because the movie stuff.
Great! It's never coming out.
Because the movie stuff, they have to stagger when the movies come out.
I know.
And they already have 2 movies that are not only like ideas. Mandalorian and Grogu starts filming, I think, next month in June.
Yeah.
And there's already been announced that that's the first one coming out.
Yeah.
And then right after that is the Rey movie, which they're already talked about. They're in pre-development stuff. There's been casting for obviously Rey and for some other characters, I believe, behind the scenes. So 2 movies, and those are going to be spaced out just a little. And then you've got, they've said for sure the Filoni movie is happening, and I don't think they would push Filoni to the side. So I think that would happen.
I don't
soon
think they
after
can
that.
now with his role.
They can't.
He's like, I'm doing it.
Yeah. And then you have the
I mean, they could,
then you
but-
have the James Mangold movie, which better not get pushed to the side because I'm so excited
That's
to
the one I'm
go
probably
to
most
the
excited for.
Origins of the Jedi, the Dawn of the Jedi.
Dawn of the
So you have
Jedi.
just those, and that's not including anything if Taika does anything, which at this point I think he's probably not.
I don't think he will.
Patty Jenkins said recently that she's like planning on coming back to do her Star Wars
Yeah.
movie at some point. But again, at some point that could be 6 years from now. Just because they
So-
couldn't even do that.
Yeah. Let me
And
ask you
Lando.
this.
Donald
Yeah.
Glover is going to be the age of Billy D. Williams by the time he does.
Oh yeah,
his Lando
he will.
movie.
He will. Let me ask you this, and this is how we can wrap it up. What is of all the stuff that's coming out that's been announced, what are you looking forward to most? One thing.
People are going to give me hate for this. None of it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
You'll definitely get hate for that.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm super excited.
Hate him.
I actually,
Hate.
do you know what I'm going to say?
Hate. Hate.
Yours might be the
Hate.
same.
Hate. 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 Hate.
What did I say earlier? Did I call someone dumb boy?
Dumb
Is that
boy. Yeah. What was our other thing? Morons. Morons.
Morons.
All right.
You know, I think mine might be the same as yours.
I know what you're gonna say.
I think it's the Ray movie.
I think mine's the Ray movie.
Because here's why I can. Here's
It's
why
also
I'll
just
say
the
that.
furthest in the timeline,
It's
so I'm
the
looking
furthest
forward
in
to
the
it.
timeline. It's with the character I already know. I really love the character of Ray. I feel like, and again, I don't know how to explain this, other than I feel like the Ray movie, because I've seen Ray in
Feels
the
way
films,
bigger scale.
feels bigger scale
It does.
than the Mandalorian and Grogu, which feels like an idea they had for a show, and they
Yeah,
were
they
like,
turned it
actually,
into a
let's do
movie.
this in the movie. Which to me, again,
Don't
it
like
doesn't get me worried like, oh, it's not gonna be good, but it does make me feel like, oh, is this gonna feel like it's all shot in the volume?
Yeah.
Which again, there's great stuff about the volume, but there are times that it feels less than
Yeah.
because it is like it's intentionally made to save money.
Yeah.
That's why they do it. Made money and time. The Mangle thing, I'm super excited about.
I'm
I just
super
feel like
excited for
that's
that.
I just feel like that's a little longer
That's
away.
too far out.
But as far as
The
the,
Mangle
stuff
thing
that's
is soon
for
as sick,
sure
though.
announced and coming, as far as Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, if I had to rank them right now, let's do Acolyte.
No.
Acolyte, Skeleton Crew. Well, we already know Ahsoka, but we won't say Ahsoka yet because we don't know exactly the time. Let's just do those 4 that we know are in the immediate. Well, Andor season 2. That's kind of hard too, also, because I am excited for Andor. But let's just say, just for the sake of this argument, 4. We've got Mandalorian and Grogu movie, Rey movie.
Yeah.
We've got Acolyte and we got Skeleton Crew. Rank them in order of excitement. So just the 4. So we'll keep it simple there. Rey movie,
Well, Ray
Grogu.
movie is number 1 for me.
number 2.
Maybe Acolyte. Then
Number 3.
Mando Grogu movie. Then Skeleton Crew.
I think that's probably my exact. And I think Acolyte. I honestly Acolyte and Mandalorian Grogu.
Even though Acolyte's a show, it's a different time period.
Different
It's
time
something
period.
looking
I'm very
forward to.
excited just to see where it's
The
something
story.
completely brand new.
I'm more interested in the story.
Yeah, and again, this may come off as feeling like I'm down on Mando. I'm not
I am.
down. I'm not down on Mando. I hate
I
it.
love Mando.
No, I really do love Mando so much. But if you're asking me, I view the movie as like, oh, the next season of Mando, which I feel like I already know not what the story's going to go, but I have an idea of like
Yeah.
what we'll kind of get.
I like the new. something new.
I definitely like the idea of something new, but also the again, it's hard. It's a me thing.
It is a you thing.
It's
Part of
I'm
the reason
struggling
why
to think of the Mandalorian Grogu as a big movie that they put like $200 million into,
yeah, I have a hard time seeing that.
where they don't show their lead actor's face the whole time.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
That's a hard obstacle. That's a thing that for me, I
That's
have
a hard
liked
selling
less
point.
about it. It's one thing at the beginning when they revealed in the first season that they revealed after the first season or midway through the first season in some interviews that Pedro Pascal was like, "Oh yeah, a lot of the time I'm not in the suit." And I remember even then I thought,
and now it's
and then I
completely
thought,
gone to.
now he's just I'm never in the suit.
and
I'm not even on
also
set.
also them intentionally pushing the we need to celebrate the stunt actors. That
Yeah,
are
like the
doing
Lateef
it.
Crowder and
like
Brendan
from like
Wayne.
almost hiding it to make you think it's all Pedro to like no,
now
we
they
need
actually
to
say like these are the This is the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
These two guys, because one does like the fighting stuff and one does a lot of like this the mannerisms
just the
and
movement
acting
and
stuff.
Yeah,
And Pedro Pascal has been the one who even recently has pushed them, saying like, yeah, those are the guys. He said, I think his exact quote was recently like, yeah, it's mainly a voice acting gig at this point.
yeah,
And to me, that's just it's hard to explain, but it makes me, there's a little bit of a disconnect of when I watch him in the show, I actually don't picture him in the suit as much anymore. Like, meaning even in story.
No, you can't
because I
we
know
never
the
see him.
truth. And again, obviously so much of film is you have to
Yeah,
suspend disbelief, and you're I don't need to think like, oh yeah, that's actually young Mark Hamill because this is Book of Boba Fett, and that's can't happen.
yeah,
But they do stuff visually that for a moment you get taken back to, oh, that feels and looks like him. Like, oh
Yeah.
man, now my mind's excited thinking about him during this time. Where now I'm thinking Grogu, and I think, oh man, he's recording this from just some studio. He's not even there.
yeah.
Again, I feel like this is going to start coming off as a little bit of a bummer,
Soapbox,
Mando,
this guy.
But no, you're right there with me. It's not. I'm not bummed on Mando. I think that I would love it if their next.
I'm just
season,
excited for the other stuff more.
I'm so excited for the other stuff, and it doesn't help that I think personally, I definitely, and I think you were too, which just season 3 to me was, and there's so much I really love about season 3 of Mando. In fact, if I rewatched it right now, I'd probably be even higher on it than I was when I first watched it, because I wasn't like, oh, what a disappointing season, but I was like, I really loved a ton of what that season was, and it also, at the same point, was clearly, to me, my third favorite season of
Yeah.
the 3 Mando seasons. So
Yeah.
those things can all be true. Is when you only have 3 seasons, they can't all be your favorite
Yeah.
season. And to me, it just had, I think the best way to put it is maybe similar to Book of Boba Fett, of just like some of the lower moments felt a little more. Well, I think Mando just had a little. Book of Boba Fett did too. Had just more of like, oh man, story wise, I'm kind of just. I wonder, kind of, did something happen behind
Where's
the
going
scenes there,
on?
or what happened?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, you're right.
But again,
Yeah.
not super negative on it, because if you ask me like, where did I rank?
Stories
Mando
will
out of
become a little
something,
more
I'm
choppy.
still, yeah, it became a little more choppy. There were decisions made by characters that, again, I'm not in the business of this should have happened, but more of just like, oh man, was that building up to that? That felt like that was a big right turn, or that felt like, oh, that kind of felt like that undid a little bit of
Yeah.
Mando getting the Darksaber. And
There you go.
and then for like 2 seasons, and then it was supposed to be a huge thing between him and Bo-Katan, and then she actually didn't even ever fight him on it.
And the fact that they made a big deal out of it,
Yeah.
it's like she can't take
Like,
that from you.
She can't take that from you. And like they led at the end of season 2, it was like the next season's gonna be like they're
she's
kind of
gonna have
friends,
to-
but this is like she feels like her calling. She might actually try to kill him over this, and one of them instead she never even wants it. He can't even freaking fight with it.
He can't
So
fight
he
with
doesn't
it.
like it at all.
And then she ends up just taking it anyway.
Then a droid monster in that cave like disarms him, and so she gets it and she fights with it. Then it's yours. Oh, okay.
Well, technically, you.
Also,
you-
you might be the Mandalorian now, not me. They had some of those quotes
They
out there
are.
of like, well, the Mandalorian moving forward might not just be Gren.
Grin. This guy doesn't even know the guy's main character name.
I almost said Grin and Dogu. Might not be
Din.
Din, but it might transform into more of Bo-Katan and more of, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really want.
What would you
I
have
don't
done if
want-
it was called?
I don't want.
What would you have done if it was called The
Main
Mandalorian,
character.
Grogu, and Bo-Katan? They just named the movie all the
That's it.
characters that are in it.
What if it was the Mandalorian, Grogu, and Din?
And Din.
Because the Mandalorian is now they're setting up that it's all Bo. Even though Bo's great, but it's funny. There's just been a couple of those things. I'm like, oh man,
Wait,
it just feels a little.
What's
different than you.
Grogu's name now? Din. What is it?
Oh yeah, what did they?
Didn't they give him his
They
first
did.
name?
They did. His
Din
name-
Grogu.
Din Grogu. I'm
You're
like,
now Din Grogu. or
not
something.
Grogu.
Anyway, we'll.
we just if someone clips this out and just shows,
They're
this,
gonna
they're
think
gonna
we
be like,
hate
"These guys
Mando."
are just hating on. We're not.
I love
we're-
Mando.
I love Mando too.
So
And I
much
think
good
it's
stuff.
important
So
to
much
always
good
be able
stuff.
To poke fun at stuff. I mean, let's real quick, just for the sake of this, 'cause I know we're wrapping up. Spend 20 seconds to make fun of something from the original trilogy. It's gonna make everyone feel better because they're gonna think, oh, there's hate.
The original trilogy.
Yeah, because there's so
Oh,
much.
easy. How whiny Luke is.
Wait.
He's getting electrocuted.
How,
He's so whiny.
how about there's so many, but somehow I've always known. Some of you've always known we're brother and sister. Why'd you kiss me last movie?
And that was what was written in after he changed
That's what I'm
it.
saying. Like, George, you didn't have
George,
to say that. You could have said, like,
could've said-
yesterday it hit me.
Like
yesterday,
you hit me.
Like,
and be like, oh,
I
okay.
had
So
no
you
idea.
didn't.
I thought there was something
you didn't
strange
know.
to us. Somehow I've always known. You always knew? That's when Luke just said, well, what was that kiss about? You always knew? I had
You
no idea.
always knew.
Why'd you
George, like,
do
let's make
that?
it more weird.
I know. Not only did I change this, I did it on purpose. Like, it's like, George, you don't have to do that. There's I mean, obviously the prequels have a number of
prequels.
things.
No.
Yeah.
The prequels have it. Oh man, good stuff. All right, we're off the
Star
rails.
Wars so much.
We appreciate it.
I
If you
love
made
it.
it this far, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and smash the notification bell. Let us know what you guys think of all of the upcoming stuff, what you're looking forward to most. What'd you guys do on May 4th? How did you celebrate Star Wars Day? What do you think of the Acolyte trailers? Are you excited for the show? And what'd you think of Tales of the Empire?
We loved it.
We're diving into a lot, and there's a lot more to come. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully Uncle's feeling better, and we get the full cast back.
Yes.
We'll see you guys next time, and as always, may the Force be with you.
Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy.
If you're not with me, then you're my enemy.
Only a Sith and me deal in absolutes. I will do what I must.
You will try, my master.
I was gonna do the video game. My master.
My master.
You will try.
Who I just turned on.
He
is
also
no longer
says
my
it, he also
master.
delivers it. You will try. In the video.
My
You
master.
will try. My master.
My master.
You will try.